Andrew will start. We'll start Damian Lee at the 2, Jordan Poole, Andrew, Juan T, and Loon.
Does that give you a chance to experiment with anything new that you want to see? Not.
Yeah, a little bit. Some different combinations. I like rewarding Damian. He's had a great camp, and he's a guy on our team who we kind of take for granted. He's such a pro. He's such a rock solid player. He's ready every night, whether I play him 20 minutes or I don't play him at all. He's always prepared, and so I'm happy to give him a start. And then obviously without Steph and Dre, it changes the rotations and the combinations. So we'll get a look at a couple of other combinations, and should be a good night.
You talked a little bit about Mooney the other day, post game. Has he done enough for you to think, potentially fit your rotation role?
Yeah, he's done a lot, and it's still so early that he's just got to keep doing what he's doing. But it's clear that he's a guy who's beyond his years in terms of his awareness, feel for the game, and confidence. So we'll give him some good minutes tonight and see where it all goes. But he's making his case for a place in the rotation. We'll see what happens.
You just talked to us the other day about taking charges even in 6th grade AAU. Do you see those kind of instincts, that kind of feel on the defensive side for him?
Yeah, he's in the right spot. He took a charge late in the game the other night. It was great. He also, watching the film, he also really took on offensive rebounders and boxed out well. Wasn't afraid of the contact. He took on Dwight Howard a couple times when Howard was rolling hard to the rim. And for a young guy to show that kind of physicality and toughness, they're all great signs. So we're really, really happy with Moses and the way he's progressing.
You talk about wanting Draymond to be more aggressive offensively. Why do you think you guys are a better team when he's aggressive on offense?
The defense has to account for everybody, and he's always at the center of our offense anyway, in the pick and roll with Steph and our low post splits. So he's always part of the action. But it seems like the defense has to honor him when he's taking his open shots, aggressively attacking the hoop. And just the defense having to react to him is important for us.
How does that show up in practice? Do you integrate him differently or communicate differently at all?
No, Draymond's he's an all-star and champion and Olympic gold medalist. He knows what he's doing. I don't need to tell him any of that.
Pressure on him more defensively this year, considering the way you guys are prioritizing shooting and some of the personnel changes. How more reliant is potentially on him?
Well, we've always kind of based our defense around Draymond. In the last few years, the burden has grown based on our personnel. But I anticipate that he's going to do what he's always done. We don't need to add any more to his plate. We feel like the personnel that we have is very capable of defending at a high level. And I would say the main difference this year is we might have more space shooting lineups. But the guys that we're putting out there they're all pros. They understand schemes and coverages, and so I feel very comfortable that Draymond will anchor whatever group he's out there.
For whatever reason, I haven't asked a ton about Looney yet this training camp. What kind of preseason does he have for you?
Rock solid. Loon is Loon, and the beauty of him is that he's there for you every day. I'm really thrilled that he turned the corner last year with his health. Feeling great, and he's just one of those guys. It may not show up in the box score, but when you watch the tape, he's making the right play over and over again, and the team tends to play well when he's out there, and he's a steadying force.
He also something that doesn't show up in the box score, but he was talking to us the other day about boxing out his guy. It doesn't necessarily mean he's going to get the rebound, but he's keeping them away from it. Those are the kind of things that maybe don't.
No doubt, yeah. He's frequently taking on a guy like Dwight Howard at the rim, or the bigger centers, the bigger, more powerful offensive rebounders. He has to stay engaged with those guys. That means everybody else has to come in and rebound.
DeMarco and Mike Brown are mostly doing the defense this year. Is that right? How difficult is it in 2021 to construct an NBA defense?
Yeah.
Especially if you look like, you guys were fifth in rating last year, but
Yeah.
really look at what the rating was.
Yeah, I mean, it's really sort of shocking where defensive ratings have gone from my first year 7 years ago to now. But it's an indication of all the three-point shooting, the rules. I'm happy that the league seems to be taking the advice of all the coaches in terms of eliminating some of the more egregious offensive tricks of the trade that have been called fouls the last couple of years. I think it's really important, given how hard it is to defend all that space, that the defense be given a chance to make good, solid plays. So I think that the league has addressed that, and everybody's just doing their best to cover the entire floor with all this three-point shooting, and it's not easy for sure. There's a reason positionless basketball is taking over. You need a bunch of 6'6" guys with long arms who can guard multiple positions. Otherwise, you're in some trouble.
Steve, Belly's gone on the podium a couple times and said,
Who has?
Belly. Yeah, and he said the offense is simple. That's how he's described it. Why would he say that? Is it simple? Is it subjective? And in the context of the other teams in the NBA?
Our offense is very simple. I know there's this kind of narrative that we have a really complex offense. What's complex is playing with Steph and Draymond. That part for guys who haven't been here can be tricky because those two do a lot of really unique things, especially Steph with his off-ball movement. And so the challenge when you come to our team is not to learn the offense. The offense is very simple. We have 4 or 5 sets, and we just run those sets. The offense is the secondary actions that are really sort of, improv. Like Draymond and Steph will come down there and they'll make eye contact, and they might flip the screen and have Draymond handle it. They might, Steph might hit and kick it back to Draymond and then run through the lane and come off of a screen. And so if you're playing with those guys, you have to understand what your job is in terms of the spacing and the screening. That's the part that maybe is a little complex, but the actions that we run, Belly's right. I mean, we don't do anything very complex at all.
In the finale, obviously you're resting Steph and Draymond. Is the finale going to be, pretty close to regular season minutes?
Yeah, that would be the idea. Assuming we get through this week's practice in one piece. Draymond and Steph both need to get really good work in today and tomorrow to make up for not playing tonight. So that's the training staff is all over that, and then hopefully Friday we have a more of a dress rehearsal, but you never know in this league.
Cool.
Thanks, Brad. Thank you.